claims. Okay, so Zayden doesn't seem to be a shapeshifter because the only reason why I'm okay, I should put spoilers in the title. I'll add spoilers in the title. I'm a little further along into the book. Not very much though. I'm like around, I don't know, chapter 18. So Zayden walked with Sorengale to see the scribe, and it is Saturday. Saturday. It's not Saturday for me. It's Saturday for them in the book. And yeah. So the way Zayden is acting right now, okay, so before they reach the library, Zayden is walking, he got his hand on Sorengale, and then Sorengale is like, look, you don't have to, you don't have to hold me like that. And he was like, you've made it perfectly clear that we're not together. And I'm like, wait, what? 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 Like, Zayden, what? Why would you say that? Like, how did that just come out of your mouth? Like, everybody thinks you all are going together. Why would you say you made it perfectly clear that we're not going together? I'm not clear on y'all not going together. I thought y'all was going together, and I thought that was perfectly clear that you guys were going together. Mm. Even the teacher that saw them, no, he's not a teacher. He's a well, he might be a teacher, but he's a mender. Even see he saw them and he was like, everybody knows you both of you spend time with each other when y'all off basically off duty. And Soaring Girl, she been carrying that note all everywhere and sharing it with everybody. I mean, I'm exaggerating just a little tiny bit, but yeah, she has been sharing the note and reading it over and over again. You guys go together. You guys go together real bad. Like she been going and seeing you. You been going and seeing her. And why would you let that come out your mouth? I think you trying to be sneaky and doing things. And making excuses. So when you do things and you get caught doing them, you're gonna be like, "Well, we won together." Yes, you were. Yes, you were together. Like, you making you a loophole for you to finagle your way out of something that you done got yourself in. I think that's what you're doing. That's what you're doing. So yeah, that's where I'm at with Zayden. Zayden is not my book boyfriend. No, he's not. Like, oh my goodness. But yeah, I do think he's making himself a loop to be like, we weren't together. Like, what do you mean we weren't together? Like, y'all, you writing letters and then she can't answer like you answer, and she gotta answer how you want her to answer, and because she wants you to answer like that. So you, uh, that's the back and forth that's been going on. You can't give me a one word answer because you don't want me to give you a one word answer. And I'm like, but y'all don't go together. You let that come out your mouth. You need to pick that back up and put that back in your mouth and swallow it. Cause how you gonna have her I don't know. You could say jump through hoops, you could say hold her to standards, you could say a number of things, and then turn around and say y'all don't go together. Shut up. Like y'all go together. Everybody knows y'all go together. Why would you say that out your mouth? Other than you creating what is that called? Um, what is that called? A suggestion, a suggested type of situation, like, oh, but I said this then type of situation, something like for you to be able to come back to and point out, well, I said it then that we didn't go together type of scenario if you were to get caught talking to somebody else or whatever. But let me keep reading. And I'm like, am I just supposed to be reading this and not getting into it? Because just hearing the book out. Am I just supposed to be hearing them out? Because I've been reading it and I've been hearing everything. So I've been like a scribe myself, listening to them talking, because what the scribes do is they don't get involved and they don't show their emotions and feelings like I've been doing, but they do take note on what um is going on and what's being said. And that's what I feel like I've been doing, is taking note on what's being said and done to the point where I'm like, huh? When Zayden says, "You've made it perfectly clear that we don't go together." I'm like, when that happened? I clear? What 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 glass is this? Because it is not clear that you guys don't go together. Everybody thinks you go together. Everybody knows y'all go together. Why? That just I wasn't expecting him to say that, but he has been acting a little different to me some kind of way, because I did think that he was a shapeshifter by the way he was acting, but I guess he's just being himself. I didn't think that that was clear. I didn't get that from their conversations. I always thought that they were working things out to be together and that they were uh, attempting to be closer together and expanding their relationship together. And then he says that. Ow. Okay, let me put spoilers in the thingy because I kind of just shared a bit much. Okay. unless the previous year, but for second year, excuse you, sir, like, can ride to where you are is not a minute away. Like a dragon ride is like hours away. And then for her to ride that dragon, I'm about to say drive that dragon, to ride that dragon to get to where you are and have the hots like she got, and then the restraint. I'm gonna have to keep reading. I'm gonna have to keep reading because Soren Gale is pointing out some things. She pointed out that Zayden didn't smell like he was had been riding a dragon, and Soren Gale suggested that he stays in the room and get some sleep because if he was riding a dragon, he should have been tired. But she noted that he didn't smell like he was had been riding the dragon. He insisted that he went over, go to her or go with her to the library. So he didn't smell like he was riding the dragon, and he had the energy to go to the library. So I'm thinking he had been already on the ground on the premises, and he just not coming to her, like how do you say, um regular scheduled programming, instead of going to her earlier, he kept to the regular scheduled programming that he told her that the day he was going to be there, but his smell and his actions aren't adding up to him having to travel there. So that's why I'm thinking he's done already been there, but low key keeping his distance from her till his regular scheduled programming. So I don't know though, but that's what it's looking like. And because Soren Gale is pointing out things, I'm over here like a scribe, like, okay, noted, duly noted, okay, duly. He don't smell like he been riding a dragon for hours, okay, duly noted. He's not tired and he got the energy to walk to the library with you, okay, duly noted. I think you've been on the premises, girl, already. That's what it sound like to me. That's what it sound like. We're gonna have to keep reading to see if that ever comes to something. Or not. And then he got the nerve to be mad at Soren Gale talking about something. And you didn't tell me what Matos did and boo boo doo. You should have told me what Matos did. Matos is a teacher. You ain't gonna do shit. You ain't gonna do nothing. Like, and if you was gonna do something, you would have did it. Like, why you acting like, can you tell that I'm upset with Zayden? I'm only upset with Zayden by way of Soren Gale, okay? But yeah, he acting like he was gonna do something, and then Soren Gale was like, "What were you gonna do? You ain't gonna do nothing." Basically, she said, you ain't gonna do nothing," because he's a teacher. And then he was like, "Maybe." I'm like, whatever. Well, maybe. Really? Maybe. If you was gonna do something, you would have done it, whether Soren Gale said something or not. And Soren Gale pointed out the fact that Matos is the teacher, so he was not gonna do anything. And he talking about something. He would have done something if you would have told me those are the things you supposed to tell me. Shut up. Ugh. She would. How folks say he wasn't gonna bust a grape. That's a teacher that did that, and you a student. And when you found out about it, did you do anything? No, you did not. You didn't do nothing. Even though you found out about it, you didn't do a thing. Did you? No, you didn't. You not up in Mato's face grimming and growling and clicking your teeth and grinding your teeth and clicking your jaw at him. You doing all of that to Sorengale. You talking to the wrong one. Go talk to Matos with all that attitude. And you thinking Sorengale is supposed to be understanding as to why you bringing her all this attitude. You misdirecting, sir. You misdirecting that attitude. You need to go redirect that attitude, sir. Goodness. Go. You say you want to do something, go do something. Go. And then you can come back and talk to Sorengale like you got some sense. See how she doing. Is she all right? You ain't even asked. You don't care. You putting up a big front. That's what you doing. You putting up a big old front. You didn't ask the girl how she was. And then go get mad talking about something. I had to hear it from so and so. Okay. That's because the girl couldn't hardly talk after the damn punishment because she was fried to smithereens from the inside out. Mm-mm. I don't know how y'all like Zayden. Is he gonna redeem himself from this? Cause I ain't liking his attitude on this visit right here. Mm-mm. And how he's speaking to her, talking about, oh, you could get yourself in trouble. You can get yourself hurt and this, that. But why is you? Let me stop. That ain't even my ministry. That's not my judge. But he arguing at her. Ugh. Mm-mm. Mm. I'm exhausted. I done took it myself out. Mm. Mm. He fussing at her and everything done already done happened. Like it's done, sir. It's done. It's a done deal. And he telling her that she should have told him. And well, how you think she got the energy to do that after you heard what happened to her? Like, come on. And then he mad because he had to hear it from Boopity Boop. I had to hear it from blah blah blah. And I'm like, hmm. You really think she had the energy to say anything? That girl, she could barely. I think no, that she did walk. She did walk. They did guide her, but she did walk. She. I mean, but she had to heal too. She had to heal. But goodness, like just zero compassion right now, and then it's this growl and gripe that he's putting on and or sending off or putting off or whatever. He's mad at her for being punished. Like what? That's what he's giving to me. Like he's mad at her for being punished and not telling him. Not for being punished, but not telling him, which still is stupid. But and then so she's trying to research and find out stuff to help. He doesn't want her to help, and I'm about to tell her that you just take the wheels, just take your hand off the wheel because ain't nothing like trying to help somebody that don't want your help. If they don't want your help, they don't want your help. So yeah, she's been studying to find ways to help, which she probably gonna come through in the clutch because that's what she been doing. But he don't want her help because he's like, you can put yourself in danger and blah blah blah. And she's finding out that the archives have been tampered with. And so she's steady searching for the history that could possibly, I don't know, uncover what's trying to be covered. Cause she think that's what the answer at to help them. And that's the cuckoo thing too, because it's kind of all inside. Like they kind of crumbling from the inside. And then they got supposedly the outsiders attacking them as well. The what's it called? The Viren, the Viren, the Viren, the Viren. Yeah, I think I said that right. But but if you're a writer, they don't want you reading, boy. They really want you stupid. So Zayden is on the path. They only want writers to write, and they want the scribes to scribe. They don't want you to read and write. They want you to. They want if you a writer, don't be in that library reading no books. And I'm like, oh my goodness. But Sorengale has been, dare I say, privileged to learn scribe and be in the libraries and amongst the archives and then become a writer. And now she's continuing her studies and going to the library, which the school kind of frowns upon because she's a writer. But at the top of the book, the quote says, "Writers make what it say? Writers write their own rules or something like that. Dragon writers write their own rules or something like that." So yeah. So in that sense, that gives Sorengale clearing to walk all up and through there, chest up, head up, because writers write their own rules. So I don't know why Zayden's so scary because by that quote, Zayden looking mighty scary. He acting mighty scary. For him to be a rider, like it's like riders. What the quote say? Riders write their own rules. The dragon riders, okay. So by that quote alone, it's like what you scared for. It's almost like you got the. I always think of that song. Can't nobody tell me nothing. That's what that quote sound like. It's like the riders rule. If they write their own rules, they rule. Can't nobody tell them they can't go to the library, but apparently so because one rider was hauled up out of there. He was like dragon rider or not. I think that was Matos. It was somebody drug one of them riders up out of that library, never to be seen again. They gave his ghost up to what's his name, Malik. So yeah, they better remember that quote. I don't know who wrote that, who said that quote, or when they gonna learn about that quote. But yeah, I I be walking around like I'm sneaking around with them too. Like they whispering and stuff like that around the school, and who else knows, and this, that, and the third, because they don't want to get caught, and because if they get caught, they get sent down to glory. All praise the mallet, they say. um, but then if you remember the quote at the top of the book, it's like, what y'all scared for? What you scared for? Like the riders, I think the riders are gonna come through and have the answer that they need at the end of the day. That's what I think. I think it's gonna be a rider. I don't know though. I think it is. I think that's my my hypothesis right now. That it's gonna be a rider because the riders write their own rules. Okay. The scribes, they kind of tend to stick to the rules when they ain't breaking them. So yeah, we shall see. I shall read on, see what the end gonna be. I'm trying to think. Maybe in their previous meeting, they Soren Gale had asked if Zayden had other visitors in his room, and I think Soren Gale asked the same when they visited. No, Zayden asked the same thing when he visited her room the last time before this time, because Zayden put a cloak on her room so that only he could enter her room. But he told her like how to use it, and she could bring anybody in her room, but do like it's a certain way they can enter. So I don't know if Soren Gale told Zayden that. I think she did. I think she might have was like nonchalant, like I don't care if you have visitors in your room. It's your room. Blue, blue, blue. Bop, bop, bop. Trying to be all. I don't care. Like, ugh. But yeah.